Okay.
And away we go.
Hey everyone, Thomas Townley, Multiverse Tonight, here with the fabulous Ming Chen.
How are you, my friends?
Now, you do podcasts as well.
I do. And when I saw your branding, your excellent branding, hat, hoodie, shirt, you're doing it right. But I was like, wait, you got a podcast? Are we recording? And so here we are.
Mm-hmm. And so tell me, since Comic Book Man has been off the air, what have you been doing?
I've been going to a lot of Comicons, almost every weekend, which is pretty cool that they're still inviting me back. And not only am I getting invited to Comicons, I get to go to the best ones, such as Planet Comicon, like bar none, one of the best conventions out there. This is my third one, and I'm always honored to be back here. So the promoter Chris Jackson, I guess he sees something in me. He's like, hey, this kid might go places, so he gets me to come.
Well, that's excellent. So, what's been the biggest thing you've seen at Comic-Con?
Biggest thing? I think just bigger stars, right?
Yeah.
William Shatner's here. Like, arguably, he's definitely an icon at this point. Icon. But then, we got other people from our sci-fi world. Giancarlo Esposito, who's Grand Moff, not Tarkin, Gideon, Grand Moff Gideon. Like how cool is that? I love him from Breaking Bad as well, and I go all the way back to like Do the Right Thing. But and any given day, Kevin Smith could be here. Like Chris Evans could be here one day. You never know. So, I was having a discussion with a friend this morning. And that's big too. They like making big announcements over the loudspeaker. We can wait for them. We can wait for them for sure.
And don't forget to show proof of contest entry at the NFM booth
Thank you.
B50 to redeem for a free large tote bag.
Thank you. It's just back in the day, I think we're probably about the same age when we were going to cons. Maybe they have like one guest there from some show you saw 20 years ago. Yeah. And back in the day, I don't know if you remember if you were guessing at a con, your career is kind of over. Mm-hmm. It's kind of looked down upon even. But now, like if you're not at a con, like you're like if you're at a con, you must be doing something right, and I love that. I think that's cool.
Yep. And ladies and gentlemen, folks, this man is only a few months older than I am. You were born in '74, right?
Yes.
I was born in '76.
Amazing.
So
we're in the prime of our ages, my friends.
Yeah.
So, but not only that, I think we grew up in the prime of geekdom as well.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, the '80s was a huge geek trove. The '90s as well.
And isn't it great how the '80s they're just all back now? Like all the kids think we're cool because they're like Stranger Things. They're like the Stranger Things like Dustin and Mikey. Yeah. These guys playing D&D in the basement. That was us.
Oh.
That was us. And riding the bikes in the neighborhood, and going on adventures. That was totally us. And I think the kids think we're cool because we did that. Because they don't do that. Kids don't do that anymore.
But Ming,
yes.
I've never been cool.
I disagree. You have a podcast. You're creating content. I think you're cool. And you're cool because so we're gonna go through the pod deck now.
Yep.
Okay.
We're gonna hit the interesting questions.
Okay,
here,
for sure.
All right.
Wow, what could possibly come up in the pod deck? What could it be?
And before I ask that, how's Kevin doing since he's been sober?
Kevin's great. For anyone who doesn't know, Kevin was probably one of the biggest potheads I've ever met.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, he was constantly high.
Yeah.
Smoked every day.
Yeah.
And went through great lengths to smoke really good stuff. And then, lo and behold, he went on Instagram about a week ago, said he stopped. Cold turkey. He'd been sober for about 5 weeks, so we're into week 6 or 7 now.
Yeah.
I've not seen him since then, but I applaud the decision. I think he just said he got tired of being in a haze, like literally. And excuse me. And I'm interested to just have a clear conversation with him now.
Yeah,
and
because I will admit, as being someone who's listening to Kevin's podcast, when he was on pod, he did tend to ramble.
He'd go on tangents. He laughed a lot, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But I think I'll take any Kevin Smith. But now,
exactly.
He hasn't been not high in years. So I'm very interested to see what happens now.
All right, so got our pod decks here.
Okay.
Now let's get some interesting questions.
All right,
here.
what do we got here?
What living person do you most despise?
Wow, that's a great question. Wow. Trying to think of like what evil dictators are out there still that are still wreaking havoc on us. Maybe like Vladimir Putin. He's been kind of evil, invading poor Ukraine just because he wants their resources. Yeah, but in general, I'm a lover, not a fighter. So I try not to hate anybody. Because you never know when you'll cross paths, right?
Exactly.
So, like, I may need, like, some Russian stuff from Putin. Probably not likely. Kim Jong-un or Il, whatever the Un. Yeah, I think he's spending money on himself and not helping his people. I think he would probably be my answer.
Exactly.
Excuse me.
Ooh, what is your most treasured possession?
Oh, man. And we're at a convention, so that's a very relevant question. I got a couple of things I can name. My Star Wars poster signed by Carrie Fisher. Definitely one of my most prized possessions. I have a Dogma poster signed in the early days by Kevin Smith and Scott Mosier, with a very personal message on there, which I absolutely love as well. Those would probably be two things I really adore. I have a Karate Kid poster signed by Ralph Macchio, William Zabka, and Martin Cove. I love that. That's one of my most prized possessions as well. And those are the three things I could think of offhand.
Awesome.
I also have a Clerks program guide from the Cannes Film Festival from 1994. Cool. Like nobody has that.
Yeah.
It was a gift from Kevin from back in the day. So
now you're one of my prized possessions. I have a wall of autographs in my studio.
Yes.
And you were the first one I hung up.
Oh,
right
man,
in the corner.
Honor. Thank you, man.
You are above William Shatner.
Wow. He went to space.
William Shatner I put behind the door.
Right. But me, right up front. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's awesome.
Let's see. If you decide to get cremated, where would you want your ashes spread?
That's a great question. I would probably divide it up into several places. Probably a body of water, maybe the Pacific Ocean. Makes me happy. I would sprinkle a little in front of the comic book shop, I think. Yep. It's a very important part of my life. And then Camden Yards, a home of the Baltimore Orioles, a little bit on they probably frown upon that, but, a little sprinkling, on the baseball field would be cool. Yeah, those would probably be my top three places.
All right. And finally, which magazine would you like to be on the cover of?
Wow, that's a great question as well. Just because it sounds so unlikely, but I think Sports Illustrated would be cool. Like I'm old. I haven't done anything athletic recently. I don't know why I would wind up on there, but it would be cool to be on there with like Michael Jordan or like LeBron James or like Patrick Mahomes. I don't know why that would why I would be on there, but that would be cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Ming Chen, thank you for joining us today.
For sure.
And we'll see you again sometime.
Yes, I'll see you in the multiverse, my friends. Multiverse Tonight, the best podcast in the universe. The multiverse.
And now back to me in the studio.